Well, still no rain in the forecast, so the ground is brutal, and it's actually doing a decent job, but the tillage equipment's taking a beating. So you can see here, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago this broke, and when we had it fixed or whatever, they sleeved it. Well, the sleeve stopped basically right here, and that's where she gave way again. So we slid a new sleeve in across the whole thing, so it's all tied together, and a little bit of welding kind of over this joint first, and then we'll marry it to the two pieces back together. Well, we're back out here in the 8870, and if you followed us along, you've seen that we got that 5-shank DMI 3-point ripper, and we really like that. But with how dry it is this fall, we were probably asking too much of it. I mean, it got a couple, I don't know, smaller breaks on it. We're still gonna hang on to it, but went and got this thing today, 5-shank DMI 530B, and the Wilrich, you saw that, had a pretty catastrophic break through the main axle, main tubing there. That should be just about finished being repaired right now. This thing really, it's doing a really nice job. It's really bouncing, but there we go. I'm pretty darn happy with this thing. Kind of nice and easy. I have the front disc set very lightly because the ground's so hard. I don't want to implode this one just because that's the year it is for everybody in this area, this state, from the sounds of it. So tillage equipment is taking a beat. Boy, that 7-shank is working that 8970 right now. He's I think 3 to 3.5 mile an hour is all it'll do. This thing, it's pulling me down in places, but for the most part, it's handling it at 4.5 pretty easy. Try not to go faster than 4.5 so I don't burn the points off too fast. This is brutal. This thing is a lifesaver. It's seen some acres, but it's doing a really nice job. We are closing in this last field of the night. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it's been brutally dry and compacted, and even worse than we were in the last few days. So we're focus. There we go. I think he's got his 1-shank into the already worked ground, so he's basically treating that as a 6-shank to be able to pull it. It's tough. Boy, the camera makes it look a lot more bright out than it actually is. It's pretty much pitch black yet. Just getting back to this field that I left off in last night. Only like 3 acres left, and then we're gonna cross out of the airport here. So yeah, might as well get going this morning. Little man, he didn't want to sleep last night much, so I laid him back down, and he was sleeping for a while, so I decided I'd come out to the field. Well, morning. I think we did like 90 acres yesterday. Probably did like 55 to 60 of it with this thing. I got like a 2 to 3 hour jump on that ripper, and that one's still pulling at like 1.5 miles to 1 mile per hour slower. And then they had a little tab on the trip mechanism that broke out, so they had to weld a couple of those in, or weld one in and fix one. But yeah, slow and steady is the story this year. I'm just gonna stock my toolbox back up. I had 3 shear bolts, 1 point. I think that was it for yesterday. So I'm gonna grease it up, stock my toolbox, and head out again. We're going to a very rocky field, so we'll see. The weird marks all over this is from the sledgehammer beating this pipe through. There was a little bit of a bow in there, but it's through. Welded on both ends. This end might, I don't remember. This is a super strong wire feed on this end, and the other side got a stick. I don't know. Regardless, it's been holding up for about 150 acres at least. And just gonna keep an eye on those welds, because basically nothing in the middle is holding anymore. It's just tied together from the outsides. But probably not the year to be testing that, but the year that we're gonna have to test it, because Mother Nature and the ground is just gonna beat these things up. But I'll show you this other side here. So that's a more accurate representation of what that pipe looked like. This is new, and it just slid in there. So yeah, she's it's a beast now. I'm gonna burn up this tube of grease I got, and hopefully the other Guys get out here and yeah, sunrise. Well, we're out here taking our first round, second round now, I guess, but spent about an hour greasing those things, looking them over. Hopefully keep treating them as good as we can, and then I guess we just punish them all day in this hard ground and hope things hold together. And maybe a quarter of an inch this evening, maybe. I've seen one map up to a half an inch, but I don't know. We'll see. There is such a crust out here, I don't know. I'm sure it'll do something, but I don't know if it'll make a night and day difference for tillage. Some of you might not know what a shear bolt is when I talk about shear bolts, but they shear through, obviously. But you can see there, it's kind of like a breakaway mechanism so that it hopefully doesn't wreck more major things. So some of these are pretty tight. Yeah, this one I'm gonna have to hit down. I'll swing down, put a new bolt in, and back in business. Jackpot. Jackpot. I think this is like a $90 spring laying here. Oh, and I even got the $46 cap for it. Oh, no way. The ultimate jackpot. I got both ends of it. That is a good night, a good way to end the night. Because this one was actually the one we rebuilt on the 500 or 530, whatever it is, 3-point ripper. Same levelers on the back, so I think they robbed this one off of that when this other one broke the other day. They're worn out, no doubt, but I just took one of my shear bolt lock nuts, put it on there because I can't find the lock washer or the other nut that was on it, but we'll be able to finish this little bean ground here. Inch of rain starting tomorrow morning, maybe tonight, but I've only got like 40 acres plus 50, it's like 55 acres to go, and I think this thing will pull it through the mud, no problem. And I shouldn't even call it mud. The moisture, it shouldn't be an issue on bean stubble. Where'd it go? It's right there. Found this chunk yesterday. Let's go see what that is. Well, it's 7:45. The first wave of rain just come through, and it only lasted like 5 minutes. A couple sprinkles. Oh yeah, it almost looks like an old band dual to hold a band dual on. It's kind of what it looks like to me, but also looks like something that could go on a tire. So it's coming with me. The rain on radar looked like it had a little more to it than in what passed by. I mean, I could count the drops on the hood and the fenders. It was right as I started up and worked my way back down into the field here. I don't know, I'll take it. I didn't want to leave a muddy mess on the road because I've only got like 8 acres, 10 acres left here, and then I'm moving to the last bean field. Some people are gonna mock us or say this is silly or recreational tillage or whatever, but I got the tractor idled back because it's pulling a lot easier in bean ground. But I'm right on a sprayer rut, and you can almost hear the tractor like when it hits a really bad spot, and then it'll kind of let you go forward. But I think, yes, in normal years I would agree with you, but this is gonna work some magic for next year's corn that's gonna be here, because that pounding rain this summer followed by like that 2 months of no rain and just heat and wind, there is literal, like, you can see the top, I don't know, 3-4 inches at least, and then in other places it's more than that, just like a crust where, yeah, I mean, over time, if we got enough rain, enough moisture, it would probably get in there and break it up, but I don't know. I think you'd see the negative impact next year if we didn't do something with it. So, little DMI to the rescue. We got another field find. This looks like a drill opener, I think. Pretty sure. Another tire slicer. I better check my points since I'm out. Oh, yep. I caught a rock, I heard it. I'm about to lose that point, so better deal with that. This shank was twisted when we bought it, which just is what it is. Everything takes a beating. But yeah, that must have just happened because it sheared the bolt. The point's still there. They're $135 a crack, so I got extra bolts here. It's pulling hard here on these headlands. And over that hill was pulling up huge chunks. I'm sure that's where I broke that bolt. And granted, like I say, this is headlands, so it's exaggerated, but we got, I don't know, 2/10 of rain, I don't know, a week ago now. And trying to find a good example, but that upper crust is still dry. Like it didn't do anything. And then underneath, at least what I'm seeing is there is some moisture trapped underneath. So it's just like, that's what I mean. Like it is going to take a lot to break that apart naturally for next year. So I think we're doing a good thing. I mean, that is just, this is a side view. The moisture doesn't start till about 2-3 inches down. And these levelers, I got them set tame, but they are breaking a lot of these clumps up, because even out in the main field, it would be really clumpy in spots, especially wherever the water sat, where the sprayer had to spray when it was wet. What a year. This spot right here is just notoriously wet. You can see the sprayer. Look, he had some fun going through there. Those are all of like 7-8 inches deep. It gets really bad right here. So that's one of the predominant reasons we're out here. But some of these drowned out spots too is like, you know, organic weed control and everything like that. You know, the soil being, well, one, with it being broken up, I'm hoping it absorbs and retains and like kind of like grabs the water that we do get this winter and wants it to soak in, versus the way it's so crusted over. I do think a lot of it's running, you know, off, unless it's a light, gentle rain. So, and then just in the spring with it being black, the sun, it'll warm it up, you know, and we have a shorter growing season, so that'll be a nice plus, that things will kind of dry out. We can maybe get in the field a few days earlier. So there is benefits to this, but like I say, on a normal year, I agree that it doesn't, you know, pay for the time and wear and tear and everything. But I don't know. I think this year is definitely a year it's going to pay for itself. Well, with crop prices, I don't know, but it'll benefit the crop, no doubt. Last pass here. There's like a 22 acre field. I believe it's getting sold, so we're not going to work though. That corn stalk's down, but we're going to double check. But this probably is it. Had a rough go lately. I broke a shear bolt on one of the shanks. At least it was the outside shank, and it mushroomed inside of itself, and I fought it for like 45 minutes trying to hammer it out with different pry bars, and then I tried wedging a bolt and a wrench and doing a nut, seeing if it would pull itself out. No. So I said, well, rain's coming. I forgot my allergy pill and my head's gonna explode, so I'm like, it's gonna be a 4-shank for the last like 9 acres that I have to do. And then I set the front discs down really light, like they were barely touching the ground. And one of them must have been on its way out during corn, because yeah, that left the chat too. So at least I found it. I turned around and saw it laying there. But I don't know, maybe the people that have had these ones before, those it's an outside one. The front outside one broke, and so did the other one the other day. So maybe there's just something about the design. There's too much pressure there. You know, we do not try to turn with it in the ground